update as far as what we've done to the truck. After some consideration looking, the radiator's up here now. It's going to go right there. It was more cost effective to put it here. I'm going to just cover that up. I've got some, I think it's 069 or 062, whatever, diamond plate. I'll show you a piece of it in a minute. I'm just going to cut a piece and rivet it over that. But I was going to show this. It's hard to see, but ties into that cross member right there, goes over, goes across, comes down, comes into the frame. There's a little support brace that goes out to the inside of the spring hanger, spring eye hanger, whatever, where the leaf spring eye goes forward, goes all the way across the frame right behind the cross member, so it won't interfere with the drive shaft. And then two pieces going forward. It's all 1 3/4, 1/8 inch wall tubing. Just something to stiffen the chassis on it. There's also a piece, it's hard to see, but under the radiator there's a piece of extra roll cage tube that is put across right there at the top of the frame. Also, that hole's for the front of the cell to set in. I got the fuel cell out of it, but we tried some different things with the radiator, and it's more cost effective to do it that way. It'll get more air. I didn't really want it up there, but tranny cooler and fans here. It's 32 row cooler. So, but yeah, you can see from up here how it all ties in, goes forward, comes up and over. Driveline safety loop will bolt here. Another one's going to bolt up front. So, that'll also add a little more rigidity to it. Yeah, truck needs a bath, man. It's been sitting out here for just over a year. It really needs a bath. Bad. But this is that. I don't know. It's not quite 1/8 inch. I think it's like 069 thick or something. But I buy this stuff. I can get it in 12 by 24 or 24 by 36 sheet. Cost me like, was it $56 or $58? So I like diamond plate. You can see I made some little covers to cover where I cut the hole for the roll cage to go through and tie into the frame. A little bit too big, so I thought it was kind of ugly, so I just made something to cover it up, make it look a little better. So that's about the gist of it. And that's a 4-core radiator for a V8 S10. Core 16 by 24. 4-core, it's 3 inches thick. It's got 4 rows of 9/16 tubes in it. We're going to see how it does. I've never used one. It's a Champion radiator, so I've had good luck with their stuff. I've never had one leak or anything. So very carefully drilled through the top bar, because these are a pain in the ass to try to put anything on, and the rubbers won't hold them if you try to put it up front. It ain't gonna work. So I carefully drilled through while looking underneath and make sure I didn't get into any of the tubes. Put some nice big headed rivets in there, riveted that top and bottom. So, and then these here I'm leaving for the time being. I had it on the back side and I didn't like it, so I'm going to take and leave these here for either to help wiring or something, you know, to hold the wiring. loom down, and then once I get it where I want, I'll cut the rest of them off or something. Piece of recycled 1-inch tube, some recycled angle I had. Got some rubbers in the bottom. I've got some rubber to go in at the top. I've already got the fans. They're already in a pre-made shroud from Spow that'll fit right on here. So we're good. Shouldn't be a problem with it. So everything ought to work on that. And now that it's higher than the engine, I don't have to worry about running $500 water pump, and I don't want it up front. You know, as much weight as I lost with aluminum heads, I've gained back with the turbos. Then another 16 pounds worth of intercooler up here, a full core support instead of one that was cut in half and the whole center section gone, and all I had was the side pieces and some tubing to tie them together. There's going to be a little bit more weight, so I'm trying to shift everything I can to the back of the truck. You know, I won't have the full exhaust on it this time, which will save me some weight. But I added the metal for the bracing in the frame, which honestly, all that metal, we weighed it out, and I think it was just under 60 pounds. It was like 58 and something pounds in the back added to the truck. And like I said, I'm not trying to build some 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile beast. It's a hot rod. It's a play toy for me. You know, it's what I enjoy doing. So, but, yep, welded that in. And, you know, it's all burnt in real good. These two back here, I actually, when I did this, I run out of wire and I ended up stick welding these two in. But it's getting there. First day in 16 days I haven't had my grandson, so, well, last night and then today. He turned 3 on the 23rd, so we did a Chuck E. Cheese party on Saturday. I didn't have him yesterday, so I actually got to get out here and get all that bracing cut and welded in. So, other than that, I ain't done really anything else to the truck. Just put all that in there. I've got some pieces I've cut to fill the gap between the spring hanger and the frame. I'm going to lay in there some 1/8 plate and weld that up and box that in. And then where that big hole is underneath, I got some pieces I'm going to put up in there and weld that up to strengthen that too. So, but, and like I've told people, this chassis is a 98 and the body's a 90 and 91, 87. It's a mix of parts. But the chassis out of a 98 S10, because they box it all the way back to right where that bar goes to the frame. Right ahead of that's where the fish mouth is, where they stop the box on the frame. It's right there. So it should be stout. They got a hell of a lot bigger cross member here in the back for the spare tire hanger than the square bodies did. It's a big, wide, massive, meaty piece back there. So there's no need to add anything back here. I've got that bar going across right here, right over the rear end, where the cage is at. Tying the frame and the cage all together, side to side and everything. This big honking cross member, then it's braced from here all the way up to the transmission cross member. So it should be stiff enough. So, and we'll see how I do. I MIG welded all of it with flux core so I could burn it in a little deeper and then clean it, go back, put a second pass around all of them. I've never had a weld break, so. And then of course I've got a piece of tubing up here, 2x3 tube. It's 1/8 ball welded in up here into the frame's capped. This is all welded and capped. So, and then that's all plated in. right there. And that's all burned in with stick welder real good, so it shouldn't go anywhere. And then where I notched out for the old header I had collector, I cleaned that up and I took 2 pieces of 1/4 inch plate and stacked them, made a big thick piece and welded it back in where I notched that. So anyway, that's all I've done. I haven't done anything else to the truck, but it's going to start taking shape real quick. Real quick. I think the only parts I'm lacking now for it is the new U-joints, getting the drive shaft made, which I know what I need because the stock one fits fine. We got to put the rear end together and start putting everything in it. But everything's here. Everything. My boy bought the Holley Super Sniper. He bought everything, the distributor, the module, the coil, the fuel injection. He went back and got, I can't remember what the fuel pump is, but he bought the one they recommended for it. So we bought the intercooler tubing kit. So I'm going to get it all done up, take it over to a buddy. He's going to weld it all up for me. So I only have joints at the intercooler and joints at the turbo, and then a boot, of course, where it goes into the hat. I don't want a whole bunch of silicone boots. So that's it. Let's see if I can get you a shot down this way. You can kind of see how where the bracing comes forward. It's actually about 8 inches back from the cross member, so transmission cross member. Hopefully that won't get in the way. If it's too close, then I'll cut it out in between and put a piece up, across, and down, up around the top like a halo, like I did in the back. Only I'll have to kind of maybe make this one round. I have a piece of round tube. I've got a portable bender where I can bend it, but yeah, you get to see kind of how it's done. It's all square, all level. I did this same thing to another truck I had years ago, and it worked fine. It wasn't a big block truck, but it had a high-powered small block blower motor in it, and it worked fine. So then we ended up cutting it all out and back halving it. But yeah, you can see. So, I mean, bought 24-foot stick of tubing was 70 something. I got a metal place like 4 blocks from here. Brown's Field Service. I can buy it, go down there and buy my steel, and they're reasonable. If you need a lot of it, they'll order it in. You just got to wait till they place their order every week for metal. But yeah, it needs a bath, man. It's got dust everywhere. I think I'm going to come out here today and pull the front end back apart and put the tubular lower control arms on it. Yeah, dog, leave that alone. Chewing on an acorn, you dodo. Put the tubular lowers on it and put it all back together. New ball joints, get that done. All the steering stuff was replaced when I put the motor in it last time. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. And we're going to see how these, supposedly these calipers, they're a big single piston. They're supposed to have a hull ace, just a lot of clamping and stopping power with the rotors that are on it. We're going to find out. If they suck, I'll take it off and put something else on it. And we'll have disc on the back, so that'll help too. So, anyway, that's it, everybody. I'm going inside, give me a cup of coffee, and then I'll be back out later.